Scourge of Ghyran. It's written in the stars. Come with us now on a journey to the etheric void, where cohorts of Seraphon wait to bring order to the galaxy and annihilation to anyone who tries to stand in the way of their great plan. Yo, sounds like Helldivers. The implausibly ancient Adam is here to beam the following message directly into your minds from the comfort of his floating stone throne.
Strike! Trockcar dug his hind claw into Starclaw's
Strike
to punctuate his command, and the Carnosaur lunged, jaws that could bite through stone clamped down on the great unclean one's arm. And the mighty lizard shook its head, tearing loose chunks of rotting flesh. Trockcar thrust with his own spear, punching deep holes into the abomination's greasy blubber. The demon only laughed. "Not so easy, little lizard," it chortled. "These rot forests belong to the Plague Father, and you shouldn't have come here. Now you'll feed the maggots." The skull-headed flail grasped in the monster's oversized fist slammed into Starclaw's flank. There was a loud splinter of bone, and the Carnosaur staggered, snarling in agony. The abomination threw its great head back and laughed, but Trockcar did not flinch in fear or doubt. The Scar veteran was a predator, but he did not hunt alone. He raised his spear. Starclaw's full-throated roar drowned out the demon's throaty cackle and set flocks of birds to screeching flight. Even the great unclean one looked taken aback. Certainly, he did not notice the undergrowth rustle behind him. Summoned by the cry of the Alpha Carnivore, a pack of Agrodon lancers burst from the tree line and fell upon the demon's exposed back with raking talons. Now the demon truly howled, and scenting blood, Starclaw and Trockcar charged in for the kill.
Notice how the story cuts off before the kill, because it's a great unclean one, so it'd take about 16 hours. But maybe they might eventually get him down. Ensure the great plan comes to fruition with 3 new heroic traits. Chosen of Quetzal is a master of maneuvering skinks, normally away from danger. The Keeper of the Old Ways provides 2 asterism abilities instead of 1 as a reward for furthering the great plan, while the Child of the Stars is literally made of star stuff, making them virtually immortal. Kill them and they come back sparklier than before. It only works once, but that could be enough. Monsters help enact the will of the old ones, so this update features 3 powerful new traits. The first is Ancient Defender, which gives your monster more kick in combat, while Armour Cruncher... Wait. Metal Cruncher? It's back in someone else's army. Makes them a particularly effective at chopping through armored foes. Lastly, Titan of the Land channels the power of a Realm Shaper engine as if it were a piece of terrain. It's a pretty nasty trick, turning a monster into an enemy zapping locus of destruction, like the Pizza Pit. Yeah, the story is accurate because the Lancers are the ones that do the damage. You are right. A weapon to surpass Metal Cruncher. Hell yeah. The Slann have seen fit to grant the Sora's Old Blood on Carnosaur a new War Scroll. Carnosaur now churns out more damage, which is increased even further if there are wounded enemies nearby. A mechanic that I typically don't like. If that doesn't make it scary enough in combat, it has a roar so loud and powerful that enemy units in its presence are deafened to such an extent that they cannot receive commands. That's powerful. Lastly, nearby Agoradon Lancers are spurned on the new heights of aggression when in its presence. Battle profiles. So just the Old Blood, not 2 War Scrolls, just 1. Like SOB. Great Plan Step 4. Take a look at the new battle plan rules for the General's Handbook and work out how they can benefit the children of the stars. General's Handbook fact number 8. In each battle plan, you'll find a twist can be used by the underdog to get themselves back in the game. Interesting, but what I really want to know is if you solve the problem of the game rules being able to figure out who is in fact losing a game or not. Because when you put in underdog rules, the opportunity for players to take advantage of them, despite not really losing, is high. Anyway, I'm concerned. With this season set in Ghyran, the majority of these twists are plant-based. What are plants? Is that stuff my food eats? Such as caustic sap, which inflicts moral damage on units holding objectives, or pulsing life energies that can improve casting or chanting rolls. Our favorite is carnivorous flora. Who said plants need to be vegetarian? Yeah, all right. And so, from the great Star Masters, tomorrow we turn to their most hated foes. Which I thought was chaos in general, but is there a specific chaos god that Seraphon hates above all, or are they just talking about slaves to darkness? Which I guess is generic chaos in a certain sense. I'm going to guess STD, I think. No, it can't be rats. We already saw Skaven. And I don't think Skaven are Seraphon's most hated foe. The most hated foe of Skaven is other Skaven. Yeah, I think it's slaves to dankness. Enhance. Faction rules: Seraphon heroic traits. Servants of the Cosmic Order. Once per turn reaction, you declared the Further the Great Plan ability. What's that? Further the Great Plan. Once per battle, start of the third battle round. Uses ability if you meet the conditions below that correspond to the asterism you picked in the deployment phase. There are more enemy units have been destroyed. There are no enemy units wholly within friendly territory. Enemy generals in combat or has been destroyed. There are friendly Slann units on the battlefield and no Slann have died. And then you get to pick a new plan to enact, okay? So this, you declare the further, so this is, it says once per turn, but really it means once per game, right? In that it's turn 3, once you have just declared furthering the great plan after succeeding at the previous one. Keeper of the old ways. You can pick 2 different asterism abilities instead of 1. They're both used in addition to the one you picked in the deployment phase. Okay. So on turn 3, once you satisfy the requirements, you get to choose 2 of these instead of 1. And you get the original also. So like turn 3, you get like Giga Juice. Interesting. Okay. Very backloaded, I guess. Child of the Stars. If this unit would be destroyed before removing it from play, roll a die, and a 3-up, it's not destroyed. I actually hate abilities like this. I don't like them. Essentially once per game on a 3-up, something happens. Maybe. Chosen of the Quetzal, any combat phase, pick a visible friendly non-monster skink unit that is in combat and is wholly within 12. Roll die, 3-up, target can move up to 8. It can move through the combat range as enemy units, but it cannot end the move in combat. So you can cause skinks to essentially retreat out of combat for free, and because it's 8 inches, it might even be the case that you won't be attacked this combat. Let me brush up on these things. Companion weapons have crit 2 hits. Stack 1 from Ren characters melee weapons for attacks target friendly. Seraphon, while they're wholly within friendly territory. Add to the move character of all Seraphon units. Awesome. Add 1 to casting rolls. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. So you choose +2 move. And then if the enemy general is in combat or destroyed, you can either choose another one, or if you take this thing, you can choose 2 more, and you just get 3, which is almost all of them. Cool, I suppose. What is that fighting against? What other battle form? Wait, that's not a battle formation. That's simply a heroic trait. So what other traits? What's that trait fighting against? Being in the stars. Ignore modifiers. Save rolls for this unit. Positive, negative. That's pretty good. That's pretty good depending. Beastmaster. Add 2 move characteristic of Seraphon Cavalry and monsters for the rest of this phase if they're wholly within 12 at the start of the move. Oh, that's really good too. This unit charged. If friendly unit wholly within 12 uses all its attack, it's free. Okay, that got slightly worse now that all the attack got slightly worse. Okay, so your traits are like good. Damn, I don't know. I think you might just still be taking Beastmaster or Stars or something. I don't know what type of hero you're normally playing in Seraphon, but just reading it sight unseen feels like Beastmaster still wins, at least on paper, without knowing much about the army. Anyway, monsters traits, everybody gets them for free. Let's go. Can't wait for mine. Titan of the Land. Unit counts as a terrain piece for the purpose of picking targets for the Realm Shaper Engine's Power Unleashed ability. Did not inflict mortal damage on this unit as part of that ability, okay? Realm Shaper Engine, that's the thing. It's like the Pizza Pit, if I recall correctly, only like way worse. Like, for once, Ogres actually got the hottest shit, and Realm Shaper Engine wishes it was as good, right? Add 1 hit rolls for combat attacks made by Saurus or Croxigar when they're wholly within... Wait, the target an enemy while the enemy is within 9 of this terrain feature. Okay. Probably Ipsum Lorem text. Power Unleashed. If there are any friendly Seraphon wizards within 3 of it, pick another terrain feature within 24 of it, then pick up the 3 enemies within 3 of that one. Where it's stargating. And then the shit D3 thing for all of them. Okay. So it means that your monster is essentially like a long distance conduit to further aim the satellite beams. You're like a laser targeter for your satellite beams from this thing. That's fun. I think that's fun. Ancient Defender. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by this unit's companion weapons. Okay, Black Clatterhorn in other words. But it's good. I bet they all hit on 4s, probably. So, +1 to hit for companion weapons. Probably really good for monsters. Armour Cruncher. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit to be the target. Roll a die. If the roll equals or exceeds the target's save characteristic, subtract 1 from save rolls for the target for the rest of the turn. Okay, so it's not Metal Cruncher. It isn't just a flat D6 mortals, which was fucking awesome. Instead, it's subtract 1 from save rolls for the target for the rest of the turn, which is, to be perfectly honest, equally as brutal. Like you're still probably dead if that happens. So I don't mind that. Armor Cruncher is awesome. It's essentially a 3-up. But if you're fighting against people who happen to have real shit armor, suddenly this thing sucks. Most notably, if you're fighting against armies who technically have bad armor, but actually they're crazy durable. Because it's save characteristic, it's not where the thing ends up, okay? So think of like Hearthguard Berserkers chilling on 5-up saves, or is it even 6-up to start? I can't remember anymore. But like, you know, Nurgle guys on a 5-up save, but then a 5-up ward, or, you know, Fire Slayer guys whose armor is technically shit, but they get bonuses to it and wards and stuff. Suddenly Armor Cruncher randomly becomes bad against guys that are very durable. It's just not because of armor, right? But I still like it. I still think it's cool. Anyway, good choices. You have the fun choice that probably isn't that good, but it's fun. You have the Timmy damage choice, which is fun and might actually be good. And then you have the Silver Bullet techie choice, with a brutal debuff that randomly doesn't work, which could be fun. Anyway, good monstrous traits. They're not necessarily game breaking or anything, but it's a free power if you're running at least one monster of any sort. Good work. And finally, Soru Sold Blood. 14/4/10. Little slow, no flying. Kind of bad to say. Probably dies pretty easy unless there's some other buffs elsewhere that I'm not seeing. Sunstone Spear and Sunbolt Gauntlet. 6 3s and 3s, 1/2. On the charge, it's 1/3. Actually not bad. Carnosaur's Massive Jowls. 3 attacks, 4s and 2s, 2/4. Literal Stonehorns, right? And with that one mount trait, it could be 3s and 2s. Not bad. Only 3 attacks, though. Carnosaur's Clawed 4 Limbs is 5 4s and 2s, maybe 3s and 2s, 1/3. This guy is... They kind of kicked up the damage on this thing. Were the damage numbers always this nice? Shall we look at the old version of the scroll to see what they have, what kind of facelift this thing got? I'm curious. Just curious. Soru Sold Blood. 2/3/3. Okay. 5/4/3. And this is 6/5/3. He was on 3 damage before, but the Massive Jowls went up a full dam point. Nice. Alright, some more dam. No range attack. It used to have a 12-inch shot, D6 3/3/1/1 shoot in combat, which is like almost nothing. I don't mind losing it. 12-inch range on shooting is so short, but it does have shoot in combat, so you might actually be able to use it once a game. D6 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1/1. This is just kind of like a frustrating profile that I'm fine with ignoring moving forward, but maybe the players of it aren't, I'm not sure. Frenzied by Blood. Add one of the damage characteristics of its unit's companion weapons while it is within 6 inches of any damaged enemy units, or while it is within 6 inches of any enemy units that had any models slain in the same turn. Oh, so 5s and 4s, huh? Old Blood kind of slapping if this thing turns on. I hate to say this, but with Frenzied by Blood, Ancient Defender, maybe even Armor Cruncher instead, and then this kind of attack profile, Seraphon dinosaurs are actually finally starting to look like fucking dinosaurs, mechanically. And they really have never before. So I like it. Crit 2 hits from the battle trade? Damn, it's almost like they're trying to represent dinosaurs in the rules now. So help me out on this Frenzied by Blood thing. This is a passive, which means it turns on instantly. So what you do is, and correct me if I'm wrong, you attack for sure with your Sunstone Spear and Gauntlet first. You have to. And then, if this thing does damage once, now you have unlocked Frenzied by Blood for these other 2 companion ones, for the big dam on those. Like, this thing can turn on mid-profiles, I believe. And so you would start with the Rider guy, hoping to get lucky and activate the almonds over here. Sounds sweet, dude. This is what a certain percentage of Seraphon players want, is just what was printed on the tin at first. I really do want dinos riding dinos. and just kiloraptors running around actually just dinosauring people. And I think they should have it. Let the kids play. Alpha Predator. Friendly Agrodon Lancers do not lose rage tokens at the end of the turn while they're wholly within 12 of this unit. Okay. I remember the Agrodon Lancers and the rage token thing. I remember not liking the ability because it was just like annoying to keep track of and awkward. But hey, this sounds like it's quality of life for the rage tokens, so I guess good work there. Yeah, Gigabrain frogs have always been powerful in that they have always kind of cheated at the game. Let's have the dino half be good too. Or at least fun. Once per turn army, any combat, rampage. Pick an enemy unit in combat with it, roll die, 3 up, target cannot use commands. Actual Roar, as in 3rd edition Roar. Awesome. Great ability. You'll love to see it. Man, I didn't think I would be saying this, but Sora's Old Blood on Carnosaur kind of fucks shit up. And everything he does is cool and seemingly fun. What a success story. Now, these traits, I'm not in love with the traits. I'm going to be honest with you. But you already have a good trait, so I guess who the fuck cares? And then monstrous traits are free. Awesome. And Carno Guy is sweet. A new playstyle unlocked. Timmy. Right? Great to see. You think no, because attacks are simultaneous? They can be, right? Like, all the attacks in one of the profiles are, but you do these first, and then you do these, and, you know, you choose the order of them. There are other abilities in the game that are like, you know, if the last point of damage dealt by so-and-so's particular weapon kills a unit, then do this. So we already have a little precedent for choosing to do that stuff. Using up Agrodons and nothing to sneeze at too. I know the Agrodons are good, and I remember the rage token thing being annoying. I don't remember if it was good or bad. I just remember it was annoying, and so this sounds like it's improving its quality of life, which is just good. 340 point. Yeah, how much is it? 340. Okay, so it's like actual Stonehorn prices, but I don't know. I feel like you're getting actual Stonehorn usefulness out of it. It's certainly not as fast as a Stonehorn. Well, okay. It actually is because you're getting +2 move from one of your asterisms, so it is as fast as a Stonehorn is today. But a Stonehorn today is a little over half as fast as it used to be. So call it what you want. Oh yeah, Frenzied by Blood, actual old school Roar. You love to see it. Tons of big damage profiles, and monstrous traits to chew through. All this stuff seems kind of nice. Yeah, there is an ethereal artifact in the faction where I was just looking at them to compare. There's an ethereal artifact. No, sorry, there's an ethereal trait. Unless there's also an ethereal artifact. No, there's not, yeah. One of the traits is ethereal, which seems great. Beastmaster seems great. Reptilian Coming, okay. All right. So, yeah, this is... I normally don't really like Seraphon that much. And still, this is cool. Okay, like you have to be a monster dinosaur enjoyer to get much of anything out of the update, but what a good update. Yeah, I don't think 340 is bad for this thing. I'll pay 340 as long as it does 340 worth of shit. And this thing looks like it could very well do that. Now, yeah, it will die to whatever, but don't get killed. Simply don't get killed. That's cool. Hey, Seraphon, 5 out of 7, good work. You'll love to see it. this one is a... What is this one? They only give us one new war scroll, so it can't be an A. And the traits are a little underwhelming. But the monstrous traits, you might actually have a choice to make between them, perhaps. And the new war scroll is great for what it's trying to do. This might be a... Is this a B? This might be a B. Grading on a curve. This is like a... Yeah. I think this is like a B or even a B plus. Grading on a curve. Yeah, B. I've gotten pulled back down to earth. It's a B. But that's good. You can take hero trait plus monster trait. I was about to say, of course. But then in my head, I'm like, well, I would have said of course because that's how it worked in first edition, and that's how it worked in second edition, and that's how it worked in third edition. But it might not be how it works in fourth edition. Who knows, you know? I'm guessing it works the same as it's always worked. In that you can just put a monster trait and a hero trait if it happens to be a hero. It's free real estate. You can easily get this thing plus 4 move from the battle traits and heroic traits and run and charge from the spell lore. Yeah, kind of nice with it, isn't it? I didn't expect Seraphon to pleasantly surprise me in the way that it has. Hell yeah, brother. Man, I'm so pleased that all of these aren't shit. It was only a few of them, the poor bastards. Tune in tomorrow, which is Friday? What day is it today? Tune in tomorrow for probably Slaves to Darkness. As I patiently wait for Oguz. If so, it's great. 2 traits for an artifact. On the old blood, hard to kill at that point. Ethereal plus monster hits on a 3 plus the healing artifact. And you can do some shit with it. You start to think about things like, what could I choose here? How could I build this thing? And it comes with, let's see, what does it come with? 1 favored spawning, also any Seraphon. Not bad. Any Seraphon, you love to see it. Cool. Well, what a nice start to the stream. I got some good news from the Seraphoids. Hey, all right, let's beat the game, shall we? I'll give you a commercial.